Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. I'm your host, Son X, and with me today, as always, is our sports analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's me.
That's right. That is you. So before we get into the show, we got to go over some housekeeping first. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment so we can juice up that algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible.
Masses, the masses.
We want it out to the masses. That's correct.
Masses.
As people as possible. Usually shoot to have this show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was out of town, got in late, so late start. Put the blame on me. So
it's very easy because you're always the one to blame.
Yeah, well, okay, not always. You are sometimes too. There,
Never.
Old timer. Yeah,
never.
Always. Anyway, you guys
why,
enjoy the.
Why were you late today?
I was driving back from being out of town.
So you were, because you didn't come to Sunday dinner. So
I was out of town. That's right.
Is it safe to assume that you were mooching off of someone else?
Maybe.
No, that's a yes.
Maybe.
I'm not saying you shouldn't go out of town. I'm just saying I know there was mooching involved. That's all.
There was a little bit of mooching. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure. So what'd you get to eat today?
We did nachos. Pretty good.
Just nachos?
Yeah, that's what we had. I had chicken, some cheese, some chips. It's a good deal. Good time. What?
What'd you have to drink? Was it free water?
Free water and free Coke, Grumpy. Free Coke, Coca-Cola.
And what's the optimal word on that? Free.
What?
Free is the optimal word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just interesting.
Anyway, so if you guys do enjoy the content over here, you can check us out on our other show, which is the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. That show is every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it is all New York Islanders hockey talk.
Very true.
With some other stuff sprinkled in sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah, well,
occasionally. All right, so to jump into the show, Grumpy, we had the first round of the college football playoffs. What are your thoughts about the first round of the college football playoffs?
Well, we had Oregon obliterate James Madison?
Yes, Oregon played against JMU, absolutely killed them. Then we had Ole Miss played against Tulane, absolutely killed them. That was literally a repeat game that had already happened earlier in the year. Even the pundits were saying, why are we getting this? We've already seen this. We already know that it was going to be a blowout. Shocker. Same exact outcome happened again. And we had Miami and Texas A&M. Miami ended up beating Texas A&M. And then we also had Oklahoma and Alabama ended up beating Oklahoma.
Which was another repeat game.
Yes.
From earlier in the year.
But a different outcome. Correct.
Different outcome.
Yep.
And honestly, watching that game, I'll speak to that one first. That was the Friday night game. Oklahoma lost that game. Alabama didn't win it.
I'm going to say one thing. There's some questionable stuff that happened in the game.
Okay. The game turned on 5 plays. It was 5 plays. And they were 5 in a row. Well, okay, I'm not even going to count the first one. Oklahoma went up 17-0. All of a sudden, they changed the way that they play defense.
Correct.
Instead of pressuring the Alabama quarterback, who just does not handle pressure. Anyone thinks that Tyler Simpson is going to be a good pro, you're mistaken. And they let them drive right down the field and get a touchdown. Okay, so Oklahoma has to respond. They had a fourth down. What was it, a third down or a fourth down play? Oh, it was a third down play.
Yes, third down play.
And Mateer makes a beautiful throw, guy number 24. He's a running back, all the way downfield, wide freaking open. Ball hits him right in the hands. He drops it. There's play 1. The next snap, the punter just drops the ball.
And I'm going to say one thing. I think that kid was approached by somebody to do that.
Oh,
I absolutely think, okay, he already caught the ball. He'd already caught the ball and then dropped it. Really? I think he was approached by somebody to do that. That's all I'm going to say. I think he absolutely, I mean, how much NIL money do you think punters are getting?
Not too much.
Thank you very much. I guarantee he said, hey, here's the way that I can cash out and make a good amount of money, because he's been a shitty kicker, a shitty punter all year.
So you don't think that just that he's a crappy punter?
No, you don't catch the ball and then drop it. No.
Well, he caught it and he went to drop it for the punt, and it just seemed like it just fell out of his hands. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, just magically fell out of his hands. Yeah, you're right.
And
Just magically fell out.
And his punting was horrible as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think he was approached by somebody. You don't just do that.
I'm not going that far, but that and
ask
then
any punter if they do that.
Then Alabama, I think 2 or 3 plays later, scored another touchdown.
And that was it.
17. What was it?
17 at half.
Maybe they had to. They had to settle for a field goal, I believe, on that drive.
Well, regardless, it was 17-7 at half.
Oklahoma gets the ball back. Wide receiver runs a wrong route, pick 6, 17-7 in a game where Alabama was thoroughly dominated.
Yep.
When you dominate like that and it comes out tied at halftime, you're probably going to lose. And you saw that happen in the second half. Oklahoma, I don't think that Oklahoma's head coach,
Venables, Brett Venables.
I'm sorry, he's not a head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator, but he's a terrible head coach. The worst thing is watching a game with TJ, though, because he knows his stuff. And if he's against your team, he picks every little thing that they do wrong. He's very, very good at that. He doesn't think Venables is much of a defensive coach either. I think they're pretty good. Bottom line is Oklahoma has 0 weapons, terrible offensive line. They got a kid number 70 out there.
He's the worst, maybe the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen in my life.
He just stands there. He's got, and TJ was saying, well, he was the number 6 overall prospect in high school recruiting the year before. I'm like, that kid's jersey wasn't even dirty. He let a guy come right through on Mateer and just plaster him. I'm sorry, you can't let a guy run right through your hole right at you. I don't care what your responsibility is. You see a guy coming straight through on you, you must pick him up. You can't just let him take a beeline straight to the quarterback. And Oklahoma had a chance. And then their kicker, the kid, the Lou Groza Award winner.
The first kick looked like it was in. I'll say the first kick looked like it was in. And they just completely didn't even review it. Didn't even look at it.
And missing that, they wound up getting the ball back. And they drive it down, and they go as soon as they get into field goal range, they have to go for another field goal. And
here's something. How about this? How about instead of making the field goal posts a certain height, raise them up more if people are kicking the ball over the top of them. Raise them up higher. Then you don't run into that, and you know whether the ball went in or not. You don't have to play a guessing game.
Okay.
Raise them up higher.
Regardless, there are a couple of big plays, a couple of dumb penalties, which continued Alabama drives for scoring plays. Like I said, Oklahoma.
A lot of flops by Alabama. That's correct. A lot of dives.
Okay. Oklahoma lost discipline, and they wound up getting beat.
Well, also, their guys didn't flop to the ground when they were hit late. They should have. They should have. Apparently, that's the way the NFL's going. The way college football's going is it's becoming a soft sport now. So if you get touched after a play, you immediately throw your arms up and fall to the ground. That's the way the sport's becoming now to get the call.
It's like international soccer almost.
Yeah, it's becoming soft as hell. It's becoming soft as hell. It's a disgrace. You know what I do then next time that happens? I'm really going to hit you hard to earn that 15 yards then. I'm just going to hit you late right at the kneecap. Blow your knee out.
Wow.
Make you earn that 15 yards.
Oh, boy.
You want to flop? You can flop on the sidelines, dragging your leg on the side of the field. Enjoy that. You want to flop? You want to flop and try and draw penalties? No problem. I'll give you something to flop about.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. I'd go for blood. And chop them right at the kneecap.
The other 3 games were, I mean, that unfortunately, that's what you have when you have 12 teams in the playoff. You got some weak teams, and the games weren't any good. The Oklahoma game was
probably what happens when you have to pander to have inclusion from all the different types of conferences in your sport. When you have to pander to these certain conferences because we have to have inclusion for all. Screw that. Number 1 through 12, you make it in. End of sentence, end discussion. That's what it should be.
SEC teams played what? They had 5 teams in there in the first round of the SEC?
Yeah. Yep.
And now they have how many left? 2?
Well, 2 of them played against each other.
So they have 2.
Yeah, they got 2. That's
2
correct.
out of the 5.
2 of them played against each other. That's right. And I guarantee you, if Oklahoma would have played against Miami, they would have beat Miami. Miami sucked.
Okay.
They suck.
Miami beat. Where was Texas A&M ranked?
Texas A&M sucks. Texas A&M played nobody all year. Oklahoma's better than Texas A&M.
Okay. Long story
If they
short,
played the teams that Texas A&M played, they'd only have one loss on the season.
Okay. Long story short, Texas A&M wasn't that good. I agree with you. They had one loss. They got in. Alabama, as far as I'm concerned, did not even deserve to make it with 3 losses. Particularly,
You want to know why they made it? It's the
Well-
same reason Miami made it. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago.
Okay.
They're big in bed with ESPN. Guess who's hosting the playoffs? ESPN.
Okay. So is
Shocker.
Notre Dame, but so is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's not big in on ESPN. Their sponsor is NBC, not ESPN.
Okay. Notre Dame puts eyeballs on sets.
Their sponsor. I'm telling you the reason why it happened. It's the big sponsorships. It's where those teams play every week. ESPN and ABC.
They make more in ad revenue based on the teams that are playing. They just do.
The reason Alabama and Miami made it in is because they both play every single week on ESPN and
First of all,
ABC.
Alabama does not play every week on ESPN.
Okay, majority of the weeks they play on ESPN and ABC. Not Alabama, but Miami does. Miami plays on ESPN all the time. All the time.
Yeah. If you're going to ask me who they want Notre Dame in there over Alabama. Notre Dame.
Why wouldn't they pick them in then? Then why wouldn't they put them in then? Why wouldn't they put them in then? Explain why they wouldn't have. I'm telling you because it has to do with money.
Okay, stop. We're not getting
It all has to do with money.
It's over.
Facts are the facts.
Long story short, the SEC already 3 teams knocked out in the first round. You want to know why? Because it's not the SEC.
3 teams knocked out in the first round. 2 have been knocked out. Ole Miss is still in. They have 3 teams left in. Georgia, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
They had 3 teams: Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and who else lost?
Nobody else lost. Ole Miss beat the shit out of Tulane.
So two of them lost.
Yeah, and 2 of them played against each other. That's correct.
Okay. Long story short, it's not the SEC invitation. Just isn't. Okay, just not.
I don't give a shit. Top 12 should make it in.
Okay,
Quit pandering to other schools.
Miami,
that's why you get the shit games that you get with Tulane and JMU.
Miami, who you said didn't deserve to play,
I didn't think they deserved to play. If they played any other team, they would have lost.
They dominated Texas A&M.
Bullshit. Bullshit. What did they beat them by 3 points? They missed 2 field goals. That's dominating.
Long story short, they deserve to be there, and they're there for a reason.
Sorry, no. Who do they play next round?
Who? Miami?
Yeah, who do they play next round?
Ohio State, maybe.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the bracket right now. They are going to play Ohio State. They'll lose to Ohio State. And here we go. Again, 2 SEC schools are facing off again. So that means one of them's automatically going to get eliminated. Don't even get the opportunity to not play.
I'm sorry.
Georgia and Ole Miss are playing against each other.
You have 5 teams out of 12 in there. You're going to play one another. It's not also what.
Okay,
so
well, here's the thing. Don't complain. Don't say, oh, well, look at all these SEC teams that got eliminated. Well, no shit. They're going to get eliminated when they're facing each other. One of them's going to get knocked out.
That was unfreaking defeated.
So you have out of the SEC teams left, 2 of the knockouts are going to be due to them playing against each other. You know that. Okay, so then you can't use that as an argument.
Oh, well, here's the thing.
You can't use that as an argument. It's not like the team played like shit. Well, one of them's going to win, one of them's going to lose.
I hate to tell you, we're bad enough that all the SEC teams that aren't deserving are in there, first of all.
What teams aren't deserving?
Now you want to spread it out?
What teams aren't deserving?
Play one another till the end.
What teams aren't deserving?
You're right. SEC teams are not deserving.
Okay, so then if SEC teams just roll all the way to the final. It was 2 SEC teams facing off against each other. Well, then you can't complain. You can't complain, right? Because they'd be better than everybody else.
Eliminated when Indiana wins.
Yeah, the reason they're eliminated is because they're playing against each other. The only team that didn't play against another SEC school that lost was Texas A&M, arguably probably the worst SEC team that was in there.
And then one team got Tulane.
Okay, beat the shit out of Tulane. Okay, and there was Oklahoma and Alabama.
And Oklahoma shit down their leg. It's the only reason Alabama won.
I guarantee if Oklahoma would have played Miami, they would have beat Miami.
They would have lost to Miami.
They would not have lost to Miami. Miami can't run the ball. Miami can't run or pass. They can't. If they could have, they would have put up more points against Texas A&M.
How many yards did Miami have rushing the ball yesterday?
They put up 10 points.
How
They put
many
up 10
yards?
points in that
You
game.
said they
10.
couldn't rush the
10.
ball. You said they couldn't rush the ball. How many rushes on how many attempts did they have? I mean, it was really windy conditions yesterday. Weather was an issue. Miami's kicker missed
175 yards on 28 attempts. They averaged 6 yards a carry.
That's pretty damn good. You said they couldn't run the ball, and they ran for 175 yards.
Is Texas A&M's run defense elite like Oklahoma's is?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
What it stunned me, Oklahoma beat themselves, and it's because of the head coach. He's dumb.
Okay, again, if Oklahoma played against Miami, Oklahoma would have beat the shit out of Miami.
We'll never know because Oklahoma got knocked off on Friday night.
We won't know because they had to play another SEC school. That's right.
Themselves. So Alabama.
I mean, I guess you can't say that Alabama wasn't worth getting in, right? Because they ended up winning. They ended up moving on to the next round.
Like I said,
Oklahoma, so I guess they deserve to be in.
Oklahoma lost that game more than Alabama won it. I guess we could do our predictions for next Saturday, right?
Sure.
We can do our predictions. I'm predicting Oregon over Texas Tech and Indiana over Alabama. And then the other bracket, I'm going to predict Ohio State over who are they playing? Miami. That one's going to be close. I'm going to pick Ohio State.
Oh my God. You think that's going to be a close game?
I think it's going to be a close game.
Holy shit.
I'm going to pick Ohio State, and I'm going to pick Mississippi in an upset over Georgia.
Wow. Without Lane Kiffin.
The last time, I don't remember him being out there suiting up. Seems like they got something to prove.
Okay. Sure. You realize they beat Tulane. They beat Tulane worse the first time they played them than that time.
But they manhandled them in this game, right?
They put up the same amount of points that they put up the last time they played them, except they gave up more points this time.
Okay, but Tulane didn't. Let's be honest. Tulane didn't deserve to be there, and neither did James Madison. And that's what happens when you put teams that don't deserve it. Now,
looking at the previous score, Oregon against JMU, I'm going to say Texas Tech's going to beat Oregon, seeing as Oregon gave up 34 points to JMU. I'm going to say that Indiana's probably going to beat Alabama. Georgia will beat Ole Miss. Ohio State's going to beat Miami.
Okay. All right.
That's what I have.
That's fair.
I don't think Oregon's very good. Giving up 34 points to JMU, you're not very good.
Were those garbage time points at the end of the game?
I mean, they were up like 30 something to I think 10 or 11 or something like that. It doesn't matter. Close the game out.
And
close the game out? It's JMU.
They won by
51-34.
Okay.
They score a lot. Oregon scores a lot. They can't play defense for shit though. They go down, that's it. You're done.
But they closed out.
They were not really.
Okay. They were up big. And they took the foot off the gas, probably played a lot of guys who don't usually play to save some wear and tear on their bodies for the next week's game. That game wasn't close, right? You'll admit that game wasn't close, right?
At the beginning it was. I'll say only at the beginning it was.
What, before kickoff?
No, before
that game was over as soon as they
midway in the first quarter. It was
kickoff. Game was over.
I think it was like 7-3 at one point in time.
All I know is I'm picking Oregon to beat Texas Tech. I don't think much of the Big 12 teams.
We'll see what happens.
So I'm predicting Oregon to play Texas Tech. Then I think you're going to see a rematch, Indiana against Oregon, which would be a hell of a game.
Oregon's going to get Big 10 sucks. Big 10 sucks.
Okay.
Yeah. They play no one.
Okay.
They play one team all year.
Okay. Let's say according to your
one team all year.
Okay. Let's say according to your scenario, you're going to have 3 Big 10 teams in the Final Four and one of the SEC. And so you think the Big 10 sucks, but the SEC is great. Correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have the Big 10 teams are separated throughout the bracket, so it kind of helps a little bit. It helps.
Maybe they're just better. You ever think maybe they're just better?
No, it helps that you have teams separated throughout the bracket. It really assists. It really assists you a lot.
Even though at the end of the season rankings, you realize it's based on rankings, right? That's where you get seeded based on
how are the rankings done? How are the rankings done? Remember we had that woman who was voting based off of her favorite color, who was putting teams in her rankings. So I mean, how's the ranking really done?
That's how the SEC had so many teams. She likes the pretty colors on those SEC teams. Long story short,
I'm just saying there's no validity to it.
You had number 1 Indiana, number 3 Ohio State, and number 5 Oregon. Those
Ohio
are
State's actually number 2. which is a joke within itself, that they lost their conference championship and are number 2. Because why? They play against no one all year. They play against no one all season. That's why.
They lost one game all year, and it was in the championship game. Okay,
Georgia lost one game all year. Georgia lost one game all year. Why was Georgia not ranked number 2? Why is Georgia number 3?
You're just proving my point when you talk about the number 1 team in the country, number 2 team, and number 5 team in the country.
Let me ask you a question here. What do you think would probably be an easier game for Georgia to play? Miami or Ole Miss? Who do you think's an easier opponent?
I think
you just said you think that Ole Miss team's going to run away with it. So who do you think would be an easier opponent?
Going to win. I think I don't think Georgia's that good.
Who do you think would be? And let me just ask: who do you think would be an easier opponent, Miami or Ole Miss?
Probably Miami.
That's my point. Is why Georgia should have been number 2, and Ohio State should have been number 3, especially when you lose your conference championship. You shouldn't just automatically, hey, well, we're just going to throw you in the number 2 slot. Sorry, don't work that way.
Where you're ranked. It's all about
again. How is the ranking done? You lose your last game of the season, you shouldn't be in the top. You shouldn't be the number 2 team in the country.
Alabama moved up a spot, getting rolled in their conference championship.
You shouldn't.
They didn't. I agree.
So that's even more validity for Georgia to be higher.
The SEC should not even be in there. I agree.
Oh my God. Honestly, they should get rid of conference championships. They're a freaking waste now. Get rid of them. They don't mean anything. Get rid of them and just have it at your end of your season. Boom. That's what you have. That's the teams that make it in. Whatever your last game of the year is, that's where your pole position is going to be. There you go. Problem solved. And, your out of conference game should mean something, especially when you play in a cupcake conference. And I don't know, have you seen what's been going on with Notre Dame recently?
Well, I know that starting next year, if Notre Dame is ranked in the top 12, they automatically get in the bowl championship series.
And do you know what's happening? Do you know what teams are doing now? What they're deciding to do?
They're going to schedule cupcake games.
They're backing out of playing against Notre Dame. So Notre Dame's going to have a really, really shitty schedule.
But if they win every game, they'll be in the top 12.
Not if you're playing St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor every week.
If they win every game, they'll be in the top 12.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit. All these teams then should move away from the NCAA, make their own super conference, and play in that shit. Then no problem. You want to pander to Notre Dame and just give them an automatic bid in every time because they're an independent school. We won't play in your shit competition then anymore. No problem. Okay. We're done.
There's only one team in the country that has that type of powers and
they pander to them.
Well,
and they pander to them
because people want to see Notre Dame play.
They're not going to want to see Notre Dame when it's only Notre Dame and Army and Navy playing for the college football playoffs because every other team's left. The SEC's decided, hey, we're just going to have the SEC championship, and that's going to be the national championship from now on.
You're just being ridiculous.
We'll bring the Big Ten and the SEC there. Yeah, nobody else will want to see you play against the Pac-12 and the freaking whatever ACC. Nobody want to see that shit.
Your level of ridiculousness
it's not ridiculous at all. I think it's ridiculous that they get an automatic bid in if they're in the top 12, especially when they're playing no one.
I don't disagree with you there.
All it takes is teams to take them off the schedule. Good luck.
If Notre Dame goes undefeated, they will be in the top 12. Period.
People should just sit out and say, no problem. You know what? Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their pockets. Sit out and don't play. That's what you should do. Sit out and don't play and just let them roll all the way through to the final. Don't play. Don't play. Have all the teams sit out if they make it in. That's how you get them to respond. Hey, have fun having no college football playoffs then, because every team that's made it in opted out.
You realize there's too much money involved. Teams are not going to back out. You are aware of that, right, X?
Well, I think it's ridiculous that they just get an automatic bid in. I think that's absolute bullshit.
Okay.
They can play St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor and get in. They can have 2 losses and make it in every year.
Okay.
Playing no one.
I just think you're mistaken. That's fine.
I just think it's ridiculous.
Okay. Stupid. I know you're unhappy. You've been unhappy. You were unhappy for the last 3 years when you were complaining about 4 and 5. You're unhappy this year, complaining about 12 and 13. You'll be unhappy in the next couple of years whenever they go to 16 teams, complaining about 16 and 17. Just the way you are. You like to complain.
Here's my thing. There's a very easy way to resolve this issue. And I've told you it from the start. There's a really, really easy way to resolve this issue. Get rid of conference championships because they don't mean shit at the end of the day. Nobody cares about them. They don't mean anything. Get rid of them. Go 1 through 12, and those are your teams that make it in. Boom. Problem solved. Nobody can complain.
Okay. Why are they not going to get rid of the conference championship game?
Because they have to pander these shit universities, these shit conferences, and put them in. So that way we can watch JMU and Tulane get ass blasted, like the same shit that happened last year where we watched SMU and Clemson get butt fucked on national television. It's the same shit year in, year out. We are pandering to certain teams because we have to have inclusion from all the conferences. Fuck that. Put the top 12 teams in there. Problem solved. You're done.
If you win, you're in. That's the way it should be.
But apparently not. Apparently not.
Yeah. Were there any?
If you play nobody and win, you're automatically in. So who's to say these other schools don't just go play in a really shitty conference, beat the piss out of every opponent they play to automatically make it in? You know what? If I'm Oklahoma, I want to become an independent school now. I'll still have representation with the SEC for all these other schools.
Oklahoma is not capable of being an independent school.
Absolutely are capable. Okay, Alabama's capable of being an independent school.
Absolutely not, because guess what?
You're telling me Alabama couldn't do that?
No.
Or Ohio State?
No.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
No one is Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Notre Dame.
How many Notre Dame fans do you even know now?
To normies, Notre Dame is a big deal. Those are the people that they bring in.
Yeah, maybe back in the 1800s they were a big deal. Back when they were wearing leather heads. Yeah, maybe that when they were winning their national championships back then. Nobody gives a shit about them now because they're irrelevant.
No, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Their TV ratings are not good. Compare their TV ratings to the other SEC schools, to the other big SEC matchups. You're going to tell me that those are better? You think that their TV ratings week in, week out are better than Ohio State, Texas week 1? You're going to tell me that?
Notre Dame,
with a straight face.
Notre Dame has higher TV ratings than Vanderbilt and Piddly-Puff.
Sure. Do you think they have higher TV ratings than Georgia? Do you think they have higher TV ratings than Alabama? Do you think they have higher TV ratings than Ohio State? No.
Notre Dame absolutely has higher viewing.
No, they don't.
Georgia Tech.
No, they don't.
They do.
Oh, let's look it up.
Absolutely do. They are Notre Dame. Period. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you what it is. Notre Dame is, everyone knows Notre Dame football. Period. They've been the football program in college for what, 70 years? Everyone knows Notre Dame. Everyone. Touchdown Jesus, the whole 9 yards. That's not Georgia. That's not Alabama. And I'm not saying that people don't watch those games. They watch for matchups, but they're not watching Alabama and Tennessee, Chattanooga. Those games aren't drawing any.
Notre Dame football maintained strong TV draw in 2025, averaging around 3.2 to 4.4 million per game. Ohio State football in 2025 was a massive TV draw, ranking among the top teams with averages of 5.7 to 6.6 million viewers per game. Yeah, you're going to sit here with a straight face and tell me that people want to watch Notre Dame football more than Ohio State football. Is that what you're going to say?
If you look at what games are you talking about? Because if
you're talking about the entirety of the season, every single game averaged out. That's what it is. All the viewership for each game that they played averaged out around the amount of games that they had.
See if you can stop talking just for a second. If you look at, I'm going to bet you the numbers for Michigan, Ohio State were huge.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
Okay, stop.
No,
talking.
It does not.
Please stop talking for a minute. Notre Dame doesn't have that marquee matchup. You're going to have, I'm going to guarantee if you look at Ohio State against Illinois, those television ratings are down. If you want to take away, if you want to take away Ohio State and Indiana and Ohio State and Nebraska, look at those numbers. I bet you they're really, really high. Why? Because those are big marquee games. It's the conference championship game, which always gets big TV numbers, and it's the rivalry game with Michigan. If you're just doing apples to apples, where it's Notre Dame against some, just regular random school, or Ohio State against a random school, you're going to see bigger numbers for Notre Dame because they are a bigger program than Ohio State. Amongst the normies, again, is what I'm saying.
The numbers prove you wrong. The numbers prove you wrong. They prove you wrong.
Apples to apples.
They prove you wrong.
Apples.
You know what? Hey, well, you know what? That's a good thing for Notre Dame to maybe schedule some tougher opponents throughout the season so they can get their numbers up, right? That's a good thing for them. Maybe they should start scheduling some tougher opponents.
We will.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
We will just go to another topic because you don't get
again. You don't want to talk about it because you're proven wrong. You're proven wrong.
What were the
5.7 to 6.6 is higher than 3.4 to 4.3.
What were the ratings for Indiana, Ohio State, and Indiana, Michigan? Because
what does it matter? Those are games that are on the schedule. What does it matter? They average more TV viewership.
It matters because those.
We argued TV viewership, did we not?
I'm talking about non-conference games, non-championship games. I'm talking about.
Well, they don't play in a conference, so every game for Notre Dame is a non-conference game.
I'm talking about take out the what was the viewership for Michigan, Ohio State, and what was the viewership for Indiana, Ohio State? I'm going to guarantee those were
18.4 million against Michigan.
18.4 million.
Texas was 16.6.
Okay, take those two games.
That's an out-of-conference game. That's an out-of-conference game.
And what about
that's an out-of-conference game? It's the first game of the year out of conference. 16.6 million.
What about Indiana?
Give me a second.
Because that's 34 million. That really jacks them up to 5. That's my point. You're talking about marquee games, the first game,
well,
and the last game of the.
Honestly, I don't think it's fair to take out Indiana. You know, Notre Dame could play in a conference if they want to. They decide not to, right? They decided not to.
What's Indiana? What were the numbers for Indiana? Because
18.3.
18.3. So look at the numbers. You're talking about 52 million between those 3 games. You add up all the other ones, then add up and then divide that by whatever.
Okay, you realize Ohio State plays against Michigan every single year. Even if they weren't in the same conference, they would still play against them every single year.
But that's why it gets the viewership. It's that game. The regular
because they're a good team. They're a known team.
Listen to me. I'm gonna talk to you like you're a 2-year-old.
So you think that makes up a 3 million to 4 million difference in TV ratings? You're gonna try and tell me that?
Absolutely. If you're talking about if the average viewership is 5 million to 3.5, that's
their average viewership was like 6. It was like 6 to 8.
You said it was 5.1 is what you said.
Oh, sorry, 5.7 to 6.6. So it's about 6 million per game. It's about 6 million per game is their average viewership for Ohio State. 6 mil per game.
You have 3 games, which was 52 million between 3 games. Guess what? That jacks up everything else. And those were marquee games. The opening game of the season against Texas.
I don't think this is not including the conference championship.
Okay, fine.
These numbers aren't including the conference championship. So you're talking about an out of conference game against Texas.
34 million for 2 games.
An out of conference game.
2 games.
Notre Dame can schedule out of conference games that are better. What's stopping them from doing that? They don't even play any conference.
Listen to me. The first game of the year, I don't care who it is, gets astronomical ratings. The first game of the year. And that last game, 18 million. That was even more than the first game because it's Michigan. You look at all the other ones.
Again,
their numbers
they always play every year.
Their numbers are
okay. Notre Dame plays USC every year. Why was Notre Dame USC not higher than that? Why was Notre Dame USC not more than 18 million?
What was USC Notre Dame? What was USC Notre Dame?
I'm looking up right now.
Because that's certainly not as big a game as Ohio State. Michigan is like the game, right? That's the big game is what they call it.
Again, better known team. That's right. You're proving my point. You keep proving my point.
It has nothing to do with people nationally watching Ohio State because they don't. Nationally, they watch Notre Dame.
Well, the numbers would disagree with you. That game accrued 4.6 million viewers.
There you go. Right in the line with what they do.
But you're going to sit here and tell me that you think that Notre Dame is a
absolutely Notre Dame is a better.
The numbers literally disprove you. The numbers prove you wrong.
Dude,
if there's such a big school, they'd be bringing in more than 4.6 million viewers during their big game. Their big game every year against USC.
If Notre Dame played the first game of the year against Texas, they would have drawn 20 million. And then their whole number
because of Texas. That's right. Because of Texas, not because of Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's right.
Not because of Notre Dame.
It's the first game of the year. But then again,
Notre Dame played Miami the first game of the year. That one should have drawn big numbers, right? Yeah, right? Was their first game of the year?
Second game of the year.
10.8
Okay, so
million.
okay,
10.8 million. That's
Miami,
8 million less than Texas.
Okay, but Miami was certainly not on par with Texas going into the season. It was number 1 versus number 2, right? You're talking about 1 versus 2 in the first game of the year.
Texas wasn't ranked second, were they?
A rematch of the championship game from last year that drew astronomical ratings as being a championship game. That's why people watched it. That's why it was as big as it was.
Okay, it still doesn't match 18 million. It doesn't match 18 million.
No, it doesn't, because it's a bigger game. It was a bigger game. It's the first game of the year, and it was Texas again, which was a rematch of the semifinals.
So you're telling me that you think, based off of the numbers, you think that
Notre
Dame's the only team capable to play as an independent as opposed to a team like Ohio State, who is proving you wrong with their out-of-conference scheduled games and their games against against Michigan, where they draw more viewership than Notre Dame does.
Okay.
The numbers literally disprove you.
The fact that you can't comprehend or know that Notre Dame is just the biggest college football.
Maybe back in the 1800s, yeah, sure, they were a bigger name school. I agree with you there. They were probably a bigger name school back then.
Between regular people who are not college football aficionados, you go and ask them a football school, they're all going to say Notre Dame. Why? Because that's
you're mistaken. Not now. Not now.
That's why Notre Dame has their own network deal with NBC. Nobody else.
When was it signed? When was their network deal signed? When was that signed? Back in the 60s, the 70s?
6 or 7 years ago?
No.
They haven't had an NBC deal for 50 years. You're crazy. You're just wrong. You don't understand. And you don't want to even listen. That's your problem. You can't see it. You can't see it because it doesn't fit your narrative. But you're going to see three Big Ten teams in the Final Four.
Notre Dame's historic deal with NBC Sports, making NBC the exclusive broadcaster for the home football games, began in 1991. So before I was born, that began. So we're talking about over 30 years ago.
And they keep
again, like I said, yeah, maybe back then Notre Dame was better than Ohio State, but not now. You're telling me that you don't think Ohio State could go ahead and go out on their own as an independent?
No,
I think you're wrong.
Absolutely not.
I think you're wrong.
They don't have the nationwide following. The
numbers disprove you. The numbers disprove you, Grumpy. The numbers prove you wrong.
Those 2 games out.
The numbers prove you wrong, but you can't because they're on their schedule.
Okay,
they're on their schedule. Notre Dame could play Michigan. Notre Dame could play Ohio State. They decide not to.
Quiet. I'll bet you every other Ohio State game draws under 2 is what I'm going to bet. That's what I'm going to bet. Under 2 or less. Because once you take off 34 million, which you divide 34 into how much? What, 12, 11 games? Because they're not counting the championship game. Subtract that out. I'm just going to say, you're going to see it. It's not as much as Notre Dame, period. And those are just facts. I know you don't understand math. That's why I'm explaining it to you.
I'm just going to say, absolutely, Ohio State. Again, you were wrong about when the deal was signed. You said it was signed 6 years ago. Well, actually, it was signed over 30 years ago.
It doesn't matter.
Let's
move on from this topic.
It's okay. You were wrong.
No one wants to hear you talk about this again for another hour.
Just admit it. It's okay.
Particularly me. I don't want to hear it.
Well,
just don't.
It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so we had the NFL as well that was played today. And actually, when was that Bears game played? Was that on Friday also? Or Saturday? The game was Saturday, yeah. Which was a crazy game. Went to overtime. And honestly, I have to give Caleb Williams his props.
He played well down the stretch. I'll tell you what. Green Bay's better than Chicago. Way better than Chicago. If Jordan Love didn't get knocked out of the game in the first half, then they had to bring Malik freaking Willis, who was
he played well.
He sucks. He can't throw the ball. He's no threat throwing the ball. He's a runner. Okay. They still had their chance, and he shit the bed at the end, right? Fumbled a snap, couldn't handle the simplest thing, which is the quarterback center exchange. Couldn't do it. Moment too big for him. Choked it away. He's just not that good. Jacobs got hurt. So they were limited. They had wide receivers.
Josh Jacobs wasn't even playing. I don't think he played that game.
He did. He played for a little while, but he was mostly the first half. He was injured again, and he was ineffective because he was hurt. He didn't play at all in overtime. A couple of calls went the Bears' way. They got a freaking onside kick where
Yep,
I don't
recovered
know
it.
how Romeo Dubes did not recover that ball. It was right. He had plenty
Didn't
of time.
execute.
Nobody near him, and he spit the bit on that. Nice pass to tie that game up over the top, and then the game winner, which was a bomb. And here's the thing: Green Bay was moving the ball right down the field on him, and then Malik Willis, he does what backups do. There's a reason why they're backups. He chokes the ball away, fumbles it away, and that's the game.
And then we have
kudos to Chicago, right? Is Chicago a threat to win the Super Bowl? Nope, I don't think so. But it was
we have
exciting.
here. This is the pass in overtime by Caleb Williams for the win.
Fake Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all. It is caught. Bears win it. DJ Moore.
That was a huge play and well-deserved by Chicago. No doubt about it. All right. Are they as good as Green Bay? No. Are they a threat to win the Super Bowl? No. Could they very easily lose in the first round of the playoffs? Yes. I don't think they're that good. But you know what? Good for them. They're a team that's been on the rocks for the last number of years. I'm glad to see them playing a little bit better. I mean, the league sucks, right? The NFL sucks. You know what I noticed this week? You knock a quarter, you breathe hard on a quarterback, they're injured. Time after time after time. I mean, J.J. McCarthy knocked out today. Didn't look like anything happened to him. Who's the other guy who got hurt today? Well, Jordan Love got hurt.
I think who else got hurt? Was it another quarterback?
Numerous quarterbacks got hurt yesterday and today. Yeah, Gardner Minshew. Knee injury.
Oh, yeah, Gardner Minshew, I think, blew out his knee.
Yeah, he got
a knee
Mahomes.
Injury. Yep.
Except
now Kansas City's down to their third string quarterback.
What's the difference? The guy who was the starter was basically a third stringer now.
Yeah, and they just lost to the Titans today. Ouch.
Worst team in the league.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a long ways from being.
Who? The Chiefs?
The Chiefs are a long ways from being good again. Long ways.
Yeah, they need honestly for their offense, not their offensive line, but their weapons need almost like a full rebuild. They have no tight end. They have no tight end. Yeah, their offense. Some of their offensive line needs help. Creed Humphreys is good though. Their center, he's good.
Okay. You have no running backs.
Yes,
no
I agree with that. Isaiah Pacheco is not very good.
You have
Travis Kelce's washed.
You have a slot receiver in Rashid Rice.
And a really fast wide receiver with not great hands in Xavier Worthy from Texas.
And you got a fat, out-of-shape quarterback who likes to run around and got himself injured, who just likes to throw the ball to a spot to get an interception. He's terrible. Let me tell you something. Mahomes is just a guy. Nothing special about him. He's no Tom Brady. No Tom Brady. Never will be. Never will be. I remember we had someone comment on this podcast. Well, look at how great he is compared to Tom Brady. First 4 years of his career. Now they're virtually identical. You want to know why? Tom Brady kept on getting better. This guy, Mahomes, keeps on going.
I'll say, yeah, Tom Brady got better as his career went on, which is kind of weird. He was like Benjamin Button disease. Like he started out not as great, but then got better as he played more.
He was just a winner. He's just a winner.
Yeah.
That's all. All he does is a winner. You need a touchdown. If you need a touchdown drive at the end of the game in the history of football, who are you picking? Are you picking that scatter arm Patrick Mahomes who has to run around, jump around, throw the ball as high up he can, far down there, and have superstar receivers to bail him out? Or are you getting a guy who throws to slot receivers and jabronis all the time and moves down the field?
That's the one thing I will say about Brady is he made, Patrick Mahomes is relying on the talent around him, whereas Brady made the talent around him good.
That's right.
He was like, hey, what is something that you do well, and we're going to utilize that. I'm not going to force you to do something that you can't do.
Yes.
I'm not going to have Julian Edelman out there running fly routes trying to get past the defense. No, he's a guy who's really good with cuts. He's quick. I'm going to have him running quick little routes.
And guess what? You have to have a quarterback with precision and throw the ball like a laser as opposed to throw it to a spot, throw a jump ball. Hey, hopefully let's have Tyreek Hill just run as fast as he can. I'll just throw it as far as I can. And he'll just run under it because he can chase the ball down. I mean, I'm sorry. There's a vast difference, and you see it. Tom Brady was technically and fundamentally sound. He worked on it all the time. The other guy, not so much.
Speaking of precision, this says throwing hospital balls with your to your teammates down 14 with less than a minute to go is nasty work from Bo Nix.
This guy got lit up.
This group, not the way that this group is being built by Liam Cohen.
Nix will throw on a run over the middle on a big stick. Pat Bryant with the catch.
This group, not the way that this group.
Yikes.
Yeah, he got
What
lit
a shot.
They had to stretch that kid off, had him in a neck brace, everything. He got lit up. Can you slow that down?
Yeah.
And, I mean, because talk about whip-a-snap action. I mean, Rashid Rice didn't play after he got hung out to dry how many times by Mahomes last week in their failed playoff push, 6-8. Ugh. Boom.
You see his head jar. See his head jar.
Man, oh man, that's a whiplash action right there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yikes.
Jacksonville's for real, no? What do you think?
Yeah. You know what I think? It's crazy. I think because they got Jacoby Myers, right?
Jacksonville got Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. Since they acquired him, they've been playing a lot better.
It's amazing when you have some weapons on your team. He's a slot guy, right?
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. is the
Deep threat. Yep. He's the deep threat. And I mean, Travis Etienne's been playing well too.
Yeah.
Can't argue
3
that.
down back, right? 3 down back.
Yep. I mean, it seems like they know what they're doing. Their defense is always pretty decent. So.
Yeah. Their defense is really good this year, Jacksonville. And so Denver's defense is good too.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is playing like the best football of his career. But okay.
That he is.
Now Jacksonville's hot right now. Is Jacksonville going to win a Super Bowl? I don't know.
I honestly, going into this week, I thought Denver was probably my favorite to win, but them losing to Jacksonville, honestly, this is when football's the best. You don't know who's going to win. I don't think there's a shoe-in favorite for the first time in I don't know, 15 years. There's not like a team that you're just like, okay, they're the favorite to win.
True.
I mean, it went from Brady to Mahomes every year, and now it's like Chiefs are out. Who's going to win? Who's going to take over the throne?
Yep.
So, I mean,
I agree. There's no super team. I just think football itself is down.
I agree.
Majorly down. And there is no super team.
I agree. This one says Puka Nacua was salty after losing, but he also wasn't wrong. You don't see them acting like this when the Cardinals/Jets 1 p.m. broadcast, and he's discussing the officials.
That was a nice catch by Cooper Kupp. That was a really okay.
Now they're celebrating.
The stupid girl official, first of all. The other guy down the field called it first. She's got to come over and kick the leg up. Okay, honey, you're only there for DEI. There's no way a woman, I'm going to tell you again, no way these stupid women, slow, don't know shit about football, should be out there officiating games. She sucks. Okay? They all suck. The 2 or 3 of them that are out there blow. They are fucking hideous. I hate all of them. Oh, look, kick the leg. Honey, it's not about you. All right? Little ponytail. It's not about you. Why weren't you there at the start with? The guy down the field had to call it first. It's the only reason you knew what to do because you couldn't have made that call. You had no idea what happened.
And then this was, of course, a former member of the show decided to make sure that he put this one in here on our feed so we could watch this. He said, not even joking, this is such a bad pick. It might need to be investigated.
Who are they going to drop? Only rush 3.
Number 9 runs the wrong route.
Yeah.
And there's your
look how late he is when he turns.
Yeah, he does. It's like terrible. It was a bad read. Look at everybody else. Oh no, what should I do? Dude, you're supposed to break that off right there. It's about picking up 5 yards. Look at number 12 running the same thing. You both run the same route, basically. It's terrible. Terrible. That's not on the quarterback. Absolutely not. We saw an interception today. Baker Mayfield throwing an interception to end
Mike
the game
Evans.
effectively. Mike Evans stops
the wrong route.
decides to cut back. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And just keep running, and that ball is right there. I mean, Baker's throwing as he's throwing it, Mike Evans is stopping and coming back and going back the other direction. I know that's not the route, by the way.
No, it's not. He was supposed to continue to run that drag across the field, and he decides to cut it back the other way. And that's why Baker's like, but you even see Baker on the sidelines, like tapped him on the back and was like, yeah, you messed up.
If that's not Mike Evans, like in a nutshell, though, honestly.
And it says, this looks a little fishy to me. This is referring to the punter who muffed the snap.
It's a great snap. He just lost the football. Really no explanation for it.
Terrible. And that's the game changer right there. That's it. It was that the kid dropped the pass. I wonder if we have the picture of the kid dropping the pass the previous play. Wide freaking open, which would have been a touchdown, making it 24-7. And then the game is Oklahoma totally dominated that game. This kid blows. And then he hit
honestly,
a 15-yard kick later. Terrible.
Revoke his scholarship. Send him packing. Hit the bricks, bud. You suck. You suck. I could kick for them. You know what I could do? I sure as hell will bet you $100 I will not drop the ball on my punts. I can promise you that. I won't drop it and muff it like that. My kicks might be shitty, but it might go like 12 yards, but I sure as hell won't do that. I promise you that.
Terrible.
Awful.
How'd Shedeur Sanders do today?
2 interceptions at least.
1 touchdown, 2
all his plays are off of dump-off passes, man. All his passing yards are off of dump-offs. That's it.
That's
all he does. He ended up getting Quinshon Judkins' leg snapped.
Did you see the Quentin Judkins injury today?
That's what I just said. He ended up getting his leg snapped.
Yeah. Dislocated ankle and broken fibula. He's going to be out a while, right?
Wow.
I mean, season's over, but will he be ready to start the year? He probably will, but it's like, yikes.
Yeah, but that's all Shedeur. Shedeur threw him a hospital. Threw him a light-up pass right there.
Lamar Jackson out of the game for Baltimore. I mean, I've never seen so many quarterbacks go down from really like innocuous hits. I don't understand it. How soft are these guys? The McCarthy hit. It's like I don't even know why are you out of the game? Besides you
Grumpy, we have a special guest who has joined into the show.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
I'm gonna add him to the stage. Hello. Arsenal's Premier League champs? ? I wonder who that could be.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up? This is Derek Monroe joining us to talk some Chiefs talk with Grumpy.
Derek Monroe, I can see why you're not putting your face up. If I was a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't want to show my face either.
It's all fun, Grumpy. You can't be in the AFC Championship every year.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. Those days are over.
Well, you got to rebuild some years, man.
Well,
that's true. I think you guys are definitely in a rebuilding time period.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Chris Jones has played about 50% of what he was previously. Travis Kelce is finished.
Washed.
Xavier Worthy is not worthy of anything. Rashid Rice, I like Rashid Rice. I had him on almost all of them. Every fantasy team I can pick him up on, I had. But, when you got a guy who's fundamentally unsound like Patty Cake Mahomes throwing him hospital passes all the time, it is what it is.
Well,
I mean, you will admit, Derek, after watching this now, that Patrick Mahomes is nowhere near as good as Tom Brady, right?
I'm still going to agree that the debate is still ongoing, but we can also agree, Grumpy, that Patrick also needed a very good run game to support him this season, and he did not have that.
But he's never.
That's what they're going to draft high to get a running back, probably some more offensive linemen, because, Patrick had to do things out of the ordinary this season to keep the season alive, and that's just something you can't rely on year in and year out, or he's going to be done early.
I thought throwing interceptions was the norm for him.
Oh, no. Come on now, X. That's not funny. But now he was all right. They were 6-8, and you could say even last year they won every single close game. It was almost like they were outplayed the majority of the time. I think Patrick Mahomes was not good last year. He was not good this year. And I think when you see that he doesn't have elite weapons, he's just a guy. And what I mean by just a guy is somebody who's not fundamentally sound, and he's not going to get better the older he gets. That much I guarantee you. When your game is predicated on jump passes and throwing the ball across your body, that doesn't get easier as you get older. And he's not going to last to play till he's 45 years old like Brady. I think that's fair. You could say that, right?
That's the hope, but you can also just, you can't hope for the worst for the guy. You got to hope to at least see it out. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not hoping for the worst. I'm just saying he's not going
realistically. Yeah, he's just saying realistically, he doesn't see him as lasting until he's 45, playing the style that he plays now, like Lamar Jackson, who runs all the time. Not a guy who's going to be playing until he's 45.
Running quarterbacks don't last because they can't take that punishment. You look at Patrick Mahomes when he's running, he's hobbling all of these for the last number of years. It's like
because he has the ankle injuries, and that's the thing is with the knee injury now, I'm very, very curious to see how he comes back next year. His whole game is predicated on rolling out of the pocket, giving himself time, and finding an open receiver downfield and hitting them. How is he going to be able to roll out and run?
Well, for me, the key to stopping Patrick Mahomes has always been keep him inside the pocket.
Yep.
Don't let him get on those plays where he runs around, gets some extra time, and their wide receivers and their tight ends are just good at finding empty spaces. He just throws
broken plays. Yep.
Can you let me finish, please? So instead of just having a set play, like I look at, and I think it's a breakdown of the position. Period. Not just Patrick Mahomes. They're all the same. Caleb Williams, not Jared Goff, but guys who are like running around all the time. Drake May. They're just not super accurate with the ball. They don't throw the ball with the zip. They throw it underhand, 3/4 sidearm, as I like to say. And those guys are not going to last. They're just not. And think about it. Brady got better the older he got. And I think Mahomes started off great, but you've seen his game kind of taper down the last few years. That's all. And there's no way he plays till 45. No way.
I did hear the Tyreek Hill mention earlier, and I just wanted to see how Mahomes was doing compared to Tyreek Hill since the trade occurred.
Well, Tyreek Hill's what, 33? He's a wide receiver. They don't last either. But when he was with Kansas City, that's when he was at the peak of his powers.
Yep.
He was tremendous for Kansas City. Tremendous. That was the deep threat. Kelsey was the short underneath guy. And they had Sammy Watkins, who was your number 3. He was pretty darn good as a number 3. And they didn't have much of a running game there. They've never had a running game. The biggest thing I think that Patrick Mahomes has to worry about is how long does Andy Reid coach and Steve Spagnuolo stay there as DC? Because they've had that continuity in the coaching staff, which really helps teams. The fact that Kansas City now is in a division that used to be a cakewalk. Brady always played the AFC East, with the exception of a couple of years, was always the New England Patriots Invitational. And now you're seeing the AFC West. You have Denver, who's really good, and San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers, who are really good. And that makes it tougher for the Kansas City Chiefs. And also the fact that only one team gets a bye, where early in Brady's career was always 2 teams. And even the same thing with Mahomes early in his career, it was 2 teams had the bye. But now it's just one team. And I think that wears on you over amount of time. X, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think Mahomes is going to reach the Super Bowls or the stats that Brady does. He might reach some of the passing stats only because he throws the ball way more than Brady did back when Brady played. 'Cause, you got to think about Brady played during the run-heavy era, whereas Mahomes played, the air the ball out era, air raid era. But so I think he might beat him in some of those stats. But when it comes to championships, I can't see Mahomes as beating him out.
Brady was throwing for 5,000 yards when he was 43 years old.
Yeah.
You just don't. And when he was with Tampa Bay, they didn't have a great rushing game. Leonard Fournette they had games.
But Leonard Fournette was older.
Yeah. Yeah. And, Ronald Jones before that. But they were a passing team, right?
Yeah.
Evans, Godwin, Gronk, even though he was kind of finished, Scotty
And
Miller,
AJ Brown or Antonio Brown too.
Antonio Brown. I mean, when Brady had weapons, he was unstoppable.
Yep.
I mean, Mahomes has always had better weapons than Brady.
Throughout his career, yes.
Always.
Brady's had a couple of years where I think the best year, and funny enough, is the year that he threw up the most touchdowns and to receive most, quarterback to receiver touchdowns in a single season was a year that he had Randy Moss. Right. That was probably arguably the best weapon that he's ever had. Him and Gronk in the same time. Gronk was on that team during then, right?
Yes. I don't know if I don't know if he was hurt that particular year or not.
Okay. But I was going to say that was
not
probably the best.
No. In 2007, Gronk was not there. He was
drafted in 2009, right?
2010.
Oh, 2010 was when he was drafted. Okay.
He and Aaron Hernandez were drafted in 2010, I believe.
Same draft. Yep. Okay.
I
mean, that's honestly.
We can all agree, though, in the past 3 years with the Chiefs offense, it hasn't been the same without Eric Bieniemy being the offensive coordinator compared to Matt Nagy. They've had to sign weapons at the trade deadline year in and year out just because the offense just isn't the same anymore. I just feel like it's a different year in Mahomes' ear, and it's just not working the same as it used to. You got to look at it from that aspect as well.
See, I don't give Bieniemy any credit. I think it's Andy Reid. It's the Andy Reid system, which is an offshoot of Paul Holmgren, and even before then, Don Coryell. Those guys all came from that, and Bill Walsh came from the Don Coryell system also, when he used to be with San Diego Chargers back in the day. Bill Walsh came from there. He went to Cincinnati, and then all those guys came through. Then Bill Walsh went to San Francisco. Mark Holmgren. Mark Holmgren. There you go. Paul Holmgren was that punk who used to play for the Philadelphia Flyers. Mike McCarthy came from there. Matt LaFleur comes from there. Shanahan came from that. I mean, they've all done their own tweaks, but I think Andy Reid, not Eric Bieniemy. I don't think Eric Bieniemy at all. I think Matt Nagy is okay. I mean, he was a QB coach, but I think the reason why the Chiefs have won the last couple of years, honestly, is Steve Spagnuolo and the defense.
The defense, yep.
It's been really good the last few years. Where Kansas City, Mahomes hasn't had to put up, 35 points a game for them to win. So, you got to give credit to that defense too. How long is Spagnuolo still going to coach? That's the biggest thing. Brady had Belichick his whole career, and then he ran his own operation in Tampa and won a championship. But what happens when Andy Reid leaves? What happens when Steve Spagnuolo leaves? You're seeing what's happening. The defensive backfield's not that good. Their linebackers aren't that good. I think, you got Karlaftis is pretty good on one rush end. Chris Jones took a big step back this year, right?
Yep.
And offensively on the line, I think the Simmons kid came in from Ohio State, could be something good. I think the Creed Humphrey kid is pretty good, but they've made some questionable decisions too. Letting Joe Thuney go was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Just over money like that. And look what he's doing. He solidified the line in Chicago. I mean, the Patriots made the same thing letting him go. Solid interior guys. Sometimes you need guys like that.
Yep.
Also, they just need to get some. Josh Simmons has been decent at tackle play, but it's just like he's the one consistent tackle you've got to rely in and game out just to stay healthy to have a shot.
He's a rookie.
And the interior of the line has always been great with Humphrey, Trey Smith at right guard, and they did have Joe Thuney forever, which, by the way, he came from the Patriots. But when you don't have great tackles to block on the edge, guess what happens? You have left ends, right ends coming at you, play in and play out, and guess what you have to do? Scramble, improvise, make a play. It's not he has to do that play. It's because he has to.
I just don't think he's capable of throwing the ball from pocket consistently. I mean, all their passes are. I mean, if it's not to Kelsey on a shallow crosser or Rashid to a shallow crosser, it's a bomb.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of diversity of their passing game. and I think that hurts. And they depend on Mahomes, improvising. When and I call it a street ball play because everything breaks down, you just kind of run around and it's tough for those defensive backs to cover, and then you got its bombs away down there. And I don't think his arm strength is that great. It's either his because his legs were injured, he couldn't get the power on the ball anymore, or maybe his arm just isn't as strong anymore. He's in his 30s now. The only guy who got better in his 30s and beyond was Brady. That's it. You see all these other guys, and I'm not saying that he can't play well for the next 5 or 6 years. I just don't think he's going to be a guy who plays his 40. It's just tough. You look at Aaron Rodgers, right? A lot of his game was predicated on scrambling around and making plays. How has he looked the last 3 or 4 years? Not too good. Because it's tough to do that the older you get.
But here's the thing I'll say. The current state and current situation in the NFL, the fact that somebody like Phillip Rivers can come in and start for the Colts and play well and put up points shows you how poor the league is. Phillip Rivers hadn't played in 5 years. He comes in at, 45?
He looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
What is he, 45, 50? Comes in, and I think D just dropped off, but comes in 45, 50 and is able to still dominate. Not dominate, but still put up points and still put up yards.
Still to be sufficient where
Yes.
you can move the ball and almost be the Seattle team that is the best team in the NFC right now?
Yep.
Okay. And in Seattle, no less? I mean, that should tell you something. It's the state of quarterback.
The state of the league in general, just not good.
Yeah.
Quarterback play is not good.
100% agree. 100%.
Yep. I do want to show this here real quick. We got ourselves a little clip here. This was in the Seattle Rams game. It says,
Is this the 2-point conversion?
It says, no, this is the one that says illegal man downfield. This is the Rams. It said an illegal man downfield call at the 1 yard line is wild call to begin with. Rams lose 4 points as a result. Go ahead and play this here. Get your thoughts, Grumpy.
Driving as far as he wants. He comes off contact, and the defender actually pushes him by him and forces him beyond that yard. So it really isn't a foul for him being illegally downfield because of that action.
That's horseshit.
Sean McVay was not happy.
That's horseshit.
I mean, think about it. That game went to overtime. That game doesn't go to overtime if that's not called.
These talking heads who cover for the referees, they disgust me more and more every single day. I don't know if you saw how the Pittsburgh-Detroit game ended today.
No, I did not.
First of all,
did Pittsburgh end up winning or lose?
Pittsburgh wound up winning.
Okay.
Now, Chris Boswell, who's about as automatic as you can be inside the 40, missed a 30-something yard kick, hitting the goal post. I'm like, they're only up by 5. It was a third and 12 play, third and 13, and they called a completed pass on a ball that obviously hit the ground. Even they looked at it and said the call stands on the field. That ball hit the ground. There's no way that was a freaking catch. Then after that, 2 straight, a pass interference call and an illegal and a roughing call. Another 30 yards down the field. It's like, my gosh, you know what the NFL is looking at? They're looking at their schedule saying, geez, if Detroit loses, the playoffs are set in the NFC. We need to make sure people are watching the games the last 2 weeks because that's all it's about to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeballs on sets. If they had Notre Dame in the NFL, they would still get that type of viewership, but they don't. So they have to make sure.
Actually, they'd probably get negative viewership, even if they probably were hoping that they didn't have Notre Dame in there, and the seeds weren't set because they get negative viewership. People would actually try and remove their subscriptions from NBC.
Okay, so when then they get the ball down close, it winds up being a 3rd and I don't know. It looks like they score a touchdown, but they get an offensive pass interference call. They were at the 2, and they throw a ball, and the guy's wide open. They say offensive pass interfering. They lose 5 yards, whatever it was. They lost 5 yards. Then they lose another 5 yards due to false start. Then they throw the ball, and I think the clock was getting ready to expire. They throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who pushed off. They said he scored a touchdown. Now, Amar
I did see that.
Ross St. Brown had the ball. He never got into the end zone, first of all. He's falling backwards. He pitches it to Goff, who runs it in for a touchdown. They said after they, you know how you know they don't know what they're talking about or they're making it up on the fly? When they stand in a huddle for like 5 minutes and talk to one another, and they got the headphone from the NFL front office, they're trying to concoct some bullshit scenario that the people will buy for the end of this game. And they said this is what happens. He scored a touchdown. He never got in the end zone. They never even showed the freaking replay. This guy
This is
never
the play right here.
Let's show it.
This is-
Let's roll it.
Once Carl Shepard said the ruling was touchdown, we knew that time had expired. You see the OPI by
He's
St.
never in
Brown
the end
there.
zone. He's never in
And
the end
as
zone.
I said, the game was at 0
That's
whenever
absolute
Goff
pass
scored.
interference.
So that is end of game. You don't extend
He's
on
never in the
offensive
end
penalties
zone.
with zeros
He's
on the
never in the
clock.
end zone.
You know, the players are still standing on the field.
His
The
feet
Lions
are
players are
outside,
looking up
and the
at the
ball
big
is in
board,
front of him.
watching the
He's not
replay
even
over
close to the
and
end
over
zone.
again, and incredulous, trying to
And here's
figure
your
out
pitch.
what just happened. How about
And
And
how's that not forward progress, right?
Right. Well, first of all, they said they called it a touchdown. Now, nobody put their hands up. Now, one official put their hands up. That's after the fact. They're so full of shit. And, of course, you got Gene Steratore, who just, he's just slurping whatever they throw up out there, whatever they put in the trough. He's going to slurp up. He missed the fumble call, the incomplete pass, and then making excuses for pass interference where I'm telling you, ticky-tack pass interference calls. Real ticky-tack stuff.
Yeah, and we can watch the rest of
the
the
effort right there, by the way, and the presence of mind for Goff to fly into the end zone. All
Once Carl
I cannot believe they ruled that a touchdown.
Yeah, he never got in the end zone. Sorry.
And then also, I think I have the catch play here. Check this out. Yeah, this should be it. So it was the Kenneth Gainwell play, right?
No, it was a
Kenneth Gainwell. Oh,
No,
we'll watch this too. We'll throw this up too. Just Kenneth Gainwell play of the year.
side linebacker on Gainwell.
Rodgers off his back foot, throws it down the way, and a flag's coming out on Anzalone. And look at Gainwell. Gainwell thinks he has a
that was a
touchdown.
great catch.
What?
Why do I keep on thinking that that's DK Metcalf? And I know it's not.
It's not. They play on the same team, but it's not.
And
DK
he was
Metcalf.
14 for Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same guy. What was the touchdown play that you were saying? Who was it? I'll look
What's
it
the
up.
touchdown play? It
Or
was
the drop ball play.
It was like a 3rd and 13 play.
Who dropped it?
Some wide receiver for it was a tight end for the Lions. They went over and over and over. I'm like, that ball is not caught. I'm sorry, that ball's scraping on the damn ground. That's not a catch. Oh, he had his hand on it. No bullshit, he didn't. And the ball moved. That's absolutely not it. That's absolutely not. They want to keep Detroit in the game. And they made that game exciting. The referees absolutely manipulated that game to make it exciting down the stretch. They absolutely did. Referees have too much power. What did Puka Nacua say this week? They like to be on. They like to tell their buddies, hey, look, you see me on TV? You see me doing this? Like, don't tell me that stupid girl with the damn blonde ponytail going, yeah, first down, catch. She's so full of shit. So you have to look at the guy down the field, make the call first before she goes over and does her bullshit. Honey, it's not about you. I hate to tell you. It's not about you. No one, and I mean no one, pays a nickel to see your fat ass waddle up and down that sideline and blow fucking calls time after time. I don't. And whenever I watch, I'm like, uh-oh, there's going to be shitty spots until the men step in and tell them where the ball really needs to be because they can't keep up.
I
If they
can't.
want to have them referee women's games, I'm fine with it. Speed's too much. Speed's too much for most of the men, let alone women, let alone fat women. Stop. Just had enough of their nonsense.
All right, we have a couple more things right here, Grumpy. This is a hockey clip here.
Ooh. Those
It
usually
says
drunk.
frustration is setting in for the Ducks. Frank Vetrano gets 2 minor penalties for roughing and unsportsmanlike conduct, as well as a 10-minute misconduct for going after Jason Robertson.
Now, would you call this a two-hander, X?
I would call that a two-hand tomahawk chop, baby. He's going to cut some wood. He's going to cut some
I don't
wood.
think he's trying to hit him. I think he's trying to chop the shit out of the stick, which is
Here
still
was the opportunity for Robertson. He got hacked. But
Wow.
Toronto then just tackled him, and Frank's going to get at least a 2-minute minor penalty out of
Yeah.
this.
Oh, that game, they got blown out by
Grabs the visor
Dallas.
of Jason
Blown out.
Robertson at the end of that.
Yeah, they got blown out. I think the score.
Honestly, though, Dallas does some dirty stuff.
What did Dallas do wrong? What did Dallas
In
do wrong?
general, I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about in general throughout the season. They have.
Okay, they beat them 8-3. That's why they acted like that. They got beat 8-3.
Should have acted worse. But yeah, I definitely absolutely agree. Should have been penalized for that. Not good. Even though, you know what? Depending on the team, I'd say it's justified.
Stop.
I'd say it's justified depending on the team, depending on who you're playing against.
Stop.
Here's another thing. This is bad news for Oklahoma fans. Oklahoma's 0-2 in the college football playoffs in games where they held a 17-point lead. All other teams who have had 17-plus point leads in college football playoffs are 28-0.
Previously, you could say it was because, Lincoln Riley teams really didn't play much defense. This one here is inexcusable.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's a punter for throwing the game.
Okay, still,
He had two major F ups that led to points.
Okay, bottom line is they can't score. Their offense is from the freaking Stone Ages. It really is.
I agree. Their offense is bad. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Until they improve the offense, they're never winning. What type?
Yeah.
If you're an offensive player, do you want to go play at Oklahoma? I don't.
No.
If you're a skill guy, the answer is no. They have one guy who's serviceable, number 4, Burks. Everybody
gone.
else, they might
He's
as well.
gone.
They might as well put me and you out there at the wide receiver slot for how bad they are.
Well, here's the good thing. He's a senior this year, so he will no longer be with the team.
Well, there you go. So.
And I don't even know if Mateer's going to come back. They asked him at the end of the game and asked him what his thoughts were on, entering the draft. He said, I'm just going to take some time and think about it and kind of weigh my options and my decision.
He's gone.
To me, there's no way in hell he should enter the draft.
Okay.
In my opinion, he shouldn't. He's not going to be drafted he'll be a really, really late pick if he's picked up at all.
If it's a weak quarterback draft, he will get picked. He'll be over. Quarterbacks are always overdrafted.
I'm just saying he'll get picked late. He won't be in the first round. That's not happening.
He's got a gun for an arm.
He will not be picked up in the first round. Okay.
Okay.
Think about it. Arch Manning is going back to play his senior year.
That's right. So what does that mean?
Mateer should go back to play his senior year.
What does it mean when the guy who's supposedly ranked first leaves and goes back to school? What does it mean for everybody else in the draft? They elevate because teams all need quarterbacks.
I don't know. To me,
I'm not saying he's a first round pick, but I could see him going late in the second. I absolutely could.
I'm sorry. What is he proven? Okay, let me ask you this. What has he proven this year to say, hey, he's a good quality caliber quarterback? What has he proven to you this year to say that he's good enough to play on Sundays?
I think he's really good. I think that the fact that they have 0 run game, 0 weapons, and 0 offensive line, it was amazing what he did this year. And you saw in that game, finally, he's come back from that broken thumb that he had surgery on, missed 1 week and came back. He didn't look until this week. And all of a sudden he's humming the ball again. He gets that little tape apparatus off of there, and he's throwing the ball much better this week. Do I think he's going to be, Tom Brady out there? No, he might be Patrick Mahomes, but not as good as Tom Brady. But he won't be. He's not going to be a superstar, but he'll be a serviceable starter. Don't tell me that he's not as good as Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy. He's
better than JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy
throws a better ball than both of those guys.
I don't know. To me, I think, and I don't know if this is just selfish reasons, I think he should try to come back another year and boost his draft stock.
In the right season, in the right system, he can be a winner. He's just as good as Brock Purdy is.
But I guess when you're looking at, I feel like all the kids, when they go play pro, right, they're looking to try and maximize their value and maximize the amount of money that they can make in. Do you think him being a second-round draft pick going in this year, or if he stays, plays well, makes the playoffs again next year, plays well in the playoffs, is now a first-rounder, going to make a lot more money?
Is Brett Venables the head coach for Oklahoma?
Unfortunately, yeah, he probably
Okay, then guess what? They're not getting better on offense. Their offensive line was hideous. They had 0 running game and one weapon on offense. One. That's it. The kid did it all on him by himself most of the year. All by himself.
Yeah, I agree.
And when there's less talent available, it elevates the other players.
I'll say this: if he does not come back next year, their team is going to be brutal. Their team's going to be brutal. They're going to be like they were the year before that when they didn't have a quarterback, when they had Jackson Arnold. They're going to be like another 5-win team again because the Hawkins kid who's behind him is not good.
Well,
he can run. He can't throw the ball.
Now, he's a true freshman.
Who, Hawkins?
Yeah, he's a true
Hawkins
freshman.
is not a true freshman.
Oh, I thought he was a true freshman.
He played for them. He came in that Auburn game last year when Jackson Arnold went out, when he was abysmal. So that he was a sophomore this year.
But, I mean, in that offense, you better be able to run for the ball the way they pass protect.
I'm just saying no. He'll be a junior this year. I mean, I don't know how many games you have to play to have eligibility used, but because I don't know, he can maybe be like a red shirt or gray shirt sophomore, whatever it is. Because he didn't really play much this year. I know he played last year. But yeah, if he's their starter next year, they're gonna suck. They will suck. Promise you.
I don't think he's been great, but I mean, can he get better? Maybe. I don't know. The fact is they have no weapons. They have no weapons.
Gonna have to hit the transfer portal heavy.
That's
get some offensive guys.
But see, that was my question. Would you, if you're an offensive player, are you going to a Brett Venables run offensive team? Is that the way you maximize your value to go into the NFL?
If you could get other people to come with you and convince other people to come with you, then yeah, I would maybe do that because you know that the defense is going to hold up.
But if you run the same system that they've been running, it's
not the system. It's the offensive line sucks. If they can get better weapons around them and improve the offensive line, I think their offense would be a lot better. They just don't have the talent.
They're run pass offense.
But they could never establish a run. If they could have established the run this year, their offense would have been a lot better. They couldn't do it all season.
Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and offensive line.
I don't think the running backs were bad. I'm not going to say that the running backs were shitty this year. I'm going to say the offensive line can't run block.
Okay, you got
when you're getting hit. I mean, okay, it's not like they had Ashton Genty back there running where he's getting hit every play 2-3 yards in the backfield and can just spin off 3-4 tackles and gain yards.
Number 24 for a 245-pound running back is a pity pat. He pity pats up to the hole on those stretch plays, and they hammer him in the backfield because he just doesn't hit the hole. For a big guy, he don't run hard. They need the whole offense just needs to be revamped, in my opinion.
Sure.
And if I'm a top prospect, I'm not going there till they show that they're going to change the system.
Well,
if you're a run,
it's Oklahoma, so
we'll see.
Right, and based off of years past, right? The same thing you said with Notre Dame. Based off of years past, they were known as the great offense. So I mean, they still have the rep of being a good offense, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll find out.
This says the Panthers are first in the NFC South for the first time since Cam Newton's MVP season.
Okay, let's be honest. Now, I said this year that I thought that the Panthers would be much better this year. Did I predict them to take a run at the division title? Did I predict them to?
We said it was between them. We said it was between them and Tampa, only because Atlanta is dumpster fire and so are the Saints. We said it was between them and Tampa.
I thought they're going to be much improved this year. Yeah. That being said, Tampa Bay is so much better than Carolina. If Tampa Bay wasn't so banged up on the defensive side of the ball and their offensive line, this game wouldn't be close. Carolina had to win this game. They could not lose this game. They have Seattle. Now, right now, they're in first place over Tampa Bay. They have Seattle next week. That's going to be a loss. And then because why? Because Seattle has something to play for. First round bye in the playoffs, right? So they're playing to win. And then they play in Tampa week 18.
And Tampa has Miami next week,
which is going to be
win.
They
have Carolina
again.
Yep.
The biggest mistake that Carolina made, not the biggest mistake, the biggest blunder by Canales was not kicking the field goal last week, a 47-yard field goal against Seattle, against New Orleans.
Saints. Yeah.
Against New Orleans. And instead he went for it on 4th and 2 like most of these hammerhead coaches. And that's that. They didn't get it. They wound up losing right at the end of regulation with the field goal to beat them as opposed to tie them.
Yep.
That was it for me because they had to beat Tampa twice. This was a close game today. Mike Evans was better being his second week back. He was better this week. Chris Godwin is back. They're going to be better the last week of the year. I predict the Panthers will knock the playoffs. I think that Tampa will. Tampa will beat Miami next week. They'll be tied with them, with the Panthers, and then they'll finish them off at home on week 18. That's what I think is going to happen.
Agreed. That's exactly what I think is going to happen as well.
That's the only playoff spot open. You have Green Bay. If they lose, Detroit can still make the playoffs if they win 2 and Green Bay loses 2. I'm going to guarantee you Green Bay. And I don't know who Green Bay's schedule is the last 2 weeks of the year. If you could look that up, X. But I think Green Bay is going to win one of the last 2, and that'll be that. It's over in Detroit, by the way. It's over. Captain Hammerhead, his time is done.
Yes, I agree.
Mr. Go for it every 4th down. Sorry. They should have won the Super Bowl.
Green Bay have the Ravens and then Minnesota.
Okay.
They have the Ravens on the 27th, and then Minnesota's a to be determined date.
Well, it's going to be the same date, but who knows the time?
Okay.
Well,
it says TBD.
Okay. The Ravens are going to have something to play for certain. If Jordan, and I think Jordan Love will be back at some point in time. Oh, that's next Saturday. It's Saturday on Peacock.
On Peacock. But the thing is, they're going to beat the Vikings. The Vikings are awful. I go by number 9. Number 9, honestly, that's addition by subtraction with him being hurt. But now they have to put that Bozer guy in there who's god awful. Maybe had the worst QBR I think I've ever seen in my life.
They're terrible
when he came in. They have no quarterback in Minnesota.
Right. They need.
I think we even discussed that too with Arizona, right? Arizona. I mean, Kyler Murray's now a healthy scratch.
Yeah, they don't.
They're looking for a quarterback too, Arizona.
Right. And here's the thing. So who's going to be your quarterbacks? I mean, who's going to be your number 1 quarterback drafted? Mendoza kid?
The kid from Oregon is the
number
number 1.
Kid from Oregon?
Yes.
Let's see. Are these generational talents?
No. This is a crappy quarterback draft.
That's right. That's why John Mateer is going to come out. He'll be the number 3 quarterback in this draft. He's better than the kid from Alabama. That much I guarantee you. Every time they blitzed the kid from Alabama, he just made bad decision after bad decision to throw the ball on. He's terrible. Mateer's going to wind up being the number 3 quarterback because he's got all the intangibles. Those move guys up the boards.
And then we have here, this will be the last video, and then we'll go through some comments, and we'll wrap up the show. Grumpy says, DK Metcalf just punched a Lions fan.
Can't do that.
Catch it. DK Metcalf mixing it up with someone in the stands.
Oh, my gosh.
And that not going to have great consequences for the Steelers. And catch it.
Do you think he'll be suspended?
Why is he pulling on his wig?
Okay. The fan apparently said, now, again, do I believe what the fan said? Probably not. But the fan was calling him by his legal name, and I guess the fan said he doesn't like to be called by his legal name, so he lost his mind.
So what?
Now, again, am I going to say he's probably saying other stuff other than that? Yeah, probably. I don't think he just called him by his... Okay, I don't think somebody would just... Okay, for instance, DK Metcalf, right? I don't think... If he really hated his legal name that much, I'm sure he would probably change it.
Didn't he change it?
No, his name... I don't think his actual legal name is DK Metcalf.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, he would change his name if he really hated it that much. I'm going to say that he probably was saying some other stuff to him. Then again, though, why the hell are you even interacting with the fans? Why?
What's the Cardinal sin, X? The Cardinals
never talk to the fans. Never even. They don't exist unless they're nice to you and are being nice to you. They don't exist.
Unless they're your home fans. Do not let yourself get involved with the fans. It's
correct. They don't even exist. They're not even there. Who cares?
It never works out well for you ever.
Don't even acknowledge them. Just stupid. All right, let's get into some comments, Grumpy, and then we will wrap up the show for today. First comment here.
JP says, good evening. The Islanders appeared to crash to earth in their last game. Well, it's the last number of games. Islanders were lucky to get 1 point against Buffalo. They lucked out. Freedom Fund Adventure goes, hey, friend, just got here. We had company. Refs blew a call in the Dolphins game that turned the entire time. I did not get to watch the Dolphins game. I just saw the highlights, so I cannot comment on that. That being said, the Dolphins are bad, man.
Yeah,
Coaches
they are. I mean,
gotta
they
go.
had to start. They started Quinn Ewers. Tua's gone now.
He's gone. He won't be there next year. I think
He
they're
will
gonna
not
keep
be
him
there
for
next
that.
year,
I agree.
Yep.
I 100% agree.
and they're going to let him go because he sucks. I mean, he has the most turnovers in the NFL this year.
Terrible. It's got to be gone. Freedom also has Grumpy. Will this be the Christmas where Son X and TJ realize that having Grumpy and the Warden is the greatest gift they ever received? I think that's more of a question for Son X.
It is. This is there. You guys are the greatest gift that anybody could ever receive.
Look at that. Why is he smiling when he says it? Doesn't seem very sincere, does he?
It is sincere. I love you guys.
Okay. All right. Freedom says, oh my God. Henneman, what a pickup. Going to be a 20-plus goal scorer, tremendous back checker, forward checker, fast skater, tremendous shot. My gosh, he gets better week after week if you listen to Freedom. Islanders are fun sometimes, easy to get caught up, but recent losses plus for future.
Look forward to the future, or plus for the future of the team. The recent losses he's looking at are a plus for the future of the team.
Okay. Emil
which means better potential draft pick coming up.
Emil Henneman is a fourth liner. Freedom Fund Adventure says officiating is making college and NFL games hard to watch. True.
Yes, agreed.
Freedom says, I'm confused about Son X saying he wants a members only card for Christmas. What other benefits and privileges would he get at Grumpy's house than he already has now? I think that's
I'm hoping I can get health benefits and I don't even know. I don't even know what else.
How
and
old
stipends.
Wait, hold on. How old were you while you were still on the Grumpy Warden healthcare plan? How old were you?
Till I legally could not be on it anymore.
So it's not
by
like
law.
Yeah, so it's not
No. I was just messing around when I was saying that.
We know that. I just want people to know that you were absolutely on your medical plan until the last possible second.
That is correct. And I'll be the first one to admit it. I was absolutely on that thing until by law I couldn't be on it anymore.
That's right. Very, very true.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Grumpy, anything you want to say to wrap up the show?
Yeah. First of all, I want to I always say love and laughter, everyone who listens, even those don't, that's true. But I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From the Grumpy Old Man and Son X, and I hope everyone has a spectacular Christmas and
holidays.
Yeah, holiday. Well, whatever. And we will be together. We'll be back on the show next Sunday. Correct, X?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You're not wandering away somewhere, right?
I am going to be out of town that Sunday, but I think I should be back Sunday night. Hopefully,
you make sure you get ready. You make sure you
hopefully should be. I'm pretty sure I should be. I will let you know when it gets closer to that date.
Okay.
Right. Yep. And I want to ditto Grumpy. I want to ditto what Grumpy said right there. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening as always. Love the interaction in the comments. D, thanks for hopping on and talking some Mahomes and Brady talk. Yep. Grumpy, I think won that battle a little bit.
Facts are facts.
That is true. Facts are facts. But love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.